Where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. God has given us unlimited treasures in His Word. Every time we open it, we can discover a new treasure or admire an old one. What will we find today? Here's Carla Early with Treasure Hunt in the Word.
Recently, my Bible study group had a lesson on suffering. It's one of those lessons I think everyone in the world should do because it explained the biblical worldview of suffering so well. Our culture teaches us that all suffering is bad, and we should do everything we can to eliminate it. I've known people who have completely turned away from faith in God and their church-going upbringing because of this question. Why would a good God allow suffering? In their minds, God is either non-existent or not as powerful or not as good as the Bible gives him credit for. So when they or a loved one went through a period of suffering, they just walked away. But as we study the Bible, we can see that suffering isn't necessarily something to eliminate, but it's something we all go through. And as Christians, we can learn and grow through it. I realized that for the first time when a young man spoke at our church. He'd been literally head-to-head with a semi-truck, and the accident left him with multiple injuries, many of which he would never completely recover from. After watching him struggle to walk and speak, listening to his story, he surprised his audience by saying he was glad the accident happened. He started out as a sports, popularity, and self-focused teenager. The years of painful therapy and recovery had brought him closer to the Lord in a way he could never have been otherwise. Now he has an amazing testimony of who the Lord is and what he can do. Jesus had walked with him through the ordeal and brought him out as a man of God. Now, no one wants to go through something like that, but when suffering comes, and it will come in some form or another, we can allow it to drive us away from the Lord or closer to him. Of course, Satan means for it to drive us farther away, make us doubt, angrily question, and become bitter. But as Joseph told his brothers in Genesis 50, verse 20, "You meant evil against me, but God meant it for good." Suffering is a place where we can develop intimacy with God, find His promises are really true, and become deeper and stronger. We can learn things about God and about ourselves that we could never have learned otherwise. And we can truly understand what Paul, who had suffered throughout his ministry, meant by Romans 8:28. All things work together for good to those who love God, to those who are called according to His purpose. With this attitude toward suffering, it won't go to waste. Instead of spending time struggling with why, we can ask, Lord, what are you trying to teach me? What opportunities are you giving me through this? How can I glorify you in the midst of it? This gives us purpose. And after we walk through our challenging trial, we can have a wonderful testimony of how the Lord walked with us. And whatever comfort God gave us during it, we can use to comfort other people. What I learned through one particular bout of suffering in my life was that it's an adventure with God. I love to share that with people who are just beginning that journey. How has your adventure with suffering drawn you nearer to the Lord? What have you learned through it? How have you been able to glorify God through it?
You can contact us at treasurehuntintheword@gmail.com. We'd love to hear the treasures God has given you through His Word. You can listen to other episodes on our website, which you can find in the description below. Thank you for listening, and remember, where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.